Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I have an absolute beauty for you. This is a slow cooked beef ragu, tender pieces of meat, slowly braised in a rich tomato sauce and served with freshly cooked tagliatelle. This is ultimate comfort food, and if you're planning something romantic around this Valentine's Day, this is the recipe that is going to impress your partner. Now, before we get into the action, if you are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the bell to get notifications as soon as I post, and you'll get delicious recipes just like this one. Okay, back to the action, let's get cooking. We've got some fresh tagliatelle, we've got some chuck steak, we've got some San Marzano tomatoes, we have some celery, a little bit of bay leaf, some carrot, and some white wine, and some milk, and an onion, and some tomato paste, and a little bit of flour. So, right, the first job is to chop up our ingredients. I have some onion, I have some carrot, and I have some celery. I'm just gonna give them a nice fine chop. This combination of carrot, onion, and a little bit of celery is gonna give us that base flavor for this really gorgeous ragu. So I just wanna soften them down, but before we do that, it's time to talk about the meat. Now, I've got a chuck steak here, and all I'm gonna do is chop this up into nice kind of almost bigger than bite-sized chunks. I wanna get a really nice browning effect on this to develop the flavor out. So what I'm looking for is probably about 2-inch chunks. Okay, as you can see, these are really chunky pieces of steak, which is great because we're gonna get lovely browning on these and begin the flavor starting in that pan. So first thing we need to do is fill a bowl with a touch of flour. This is gonna help you get that really nice crust on the beef. So about a few tablespoons going in there. I'm also gonna season this up with a little pinch of some sea salt and a generous amount of black pepper going in there, and then just swirl it around. So once you have your seasoned flour, get the pan on a nice high heat. There we go. So we're gonna grab up these pieces of steak, I'm gonna dip them in the flour, and then we're gonna get them straight into the pan and browned off. Into the pan, a little touch of sunflower oil. Once that's nice and hot, it's time to fry. When it comes to browning your meat, I know this sounds like a lot of hard work, but promise you it makes a difference. You're gonna brown this in 2 batches. If you do it all in one go, you're just gonna sweat the meat and you won't get the color and the flavor that happens when you do it in batches like this. Now you can see I've left a lot of space so that you can allow yourself to get really brown and gorgeous deep color and flavor to this dish. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. Beautiful, brown, tender pieces of meat. Now, it's not cooked all the way through. We're gonna let that 2 hours, slow cooking, do all the work and make this super tender. But now, I have to finish the other batch and get on our veggies. Okay, when you have a beautiful browned mountain of meat like this, you are in a good place. Now, because we have all that great flavor in the bottom of the pan, I'm also gonna fry my onion, carrot, and celery in there and make sure that I deglaze the pan with a little white wine so that I get all those gnarly, meaty flavors straight into our onions. And then it's all getting put in a big pot and we're gonna cook it away for about 2 hours until it's super tender. Right behind me, right now, all that action in the pot is happening. So I'm gonna top this up with a little bit more. I've half filled this can of tomatoes, so I'm gonna pop them straight in to our pot so that we get a nice little bit of liquid for this tomato mixture to braise. This is essentially gonna break down over 2 hours, so you wanna take your time with this, reduce the heat right now, and I'm gonna pop a lid on this and it's gonna slowly cook. And to be honest, it depends on the cut of meat. I say 2 hours, but if it's not fork tender, i.e. it would fall apart when you pierce it with a fork, it's not ready. So you gotta keep cooking it out, and if you run out of water, it looks too dry, just top it up with some more water and essentially you will have a beautiful braised meat dish. Okay, this is looking good. We're gonna leave this to cook for 2 hours. We've got 2 hours on the clock and then we're coming back. You gonna throw it for Mexi? You gonna throw it for Mexi? Yo! Good job! Oh! Bravo, man. Okay, Noah is up from his nap. Our beef has been braising for 2 long hours until it goes really beautifully and jammy. In fact, I'm not gonna tell you what it's like. Let's go and have a look in this pot. And in here is where the magic's at. But this is the place you wanna be at. Your meat should be falling apart. Your sauce should be nice and thickened like this. Now, once you're at this point, everything just becomes a little bit more mouth-watering. All you're looking for is any of those huge, big, chunky bits just to be shredded apart. I'm gonna leave this with a lid on, keep the heat in it. I'm gonna get the pasta on, and we are nearly there. Okay, we're in business. I've got pasta cooked off, I've got my meat looking good, and I actually saved a tiny touch of that pasta water. And I'm just gonna loosen out this sauce a tiny bit because you don't want it to be too heavy, otherwise it'll just break up your pasta, and if it isn't al dente, it's just gonna fall apart completely. So just loosen that out a touch. It's all looking good. I'm gonna dump the tagliatelle straight in there, and then the best thing to do is get in there and get mixed up. I'm gonna make this quick because Sophie's behind the camera and I know that she wants pasta, so I'm gonna, can I take my time with this?
I'm just getting hungrier by the minute.
Sophie's getting hangry, so let's continue. This is where it's at. I mean, you've got slow braised meat, you've got fresh tagliatelle, I've just grated over a little bit of Parmesan. That is just ultimate comfort food. Right guys, I'm gonna wrap this up. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the notifications bell so that you're the first to get the recipes when they come your way. We'll leave a full link to this recipe, which is from my new cookbook, Meals in Minutes, but we'll leave a full link on my website so you'll get the full recipe details and all the measurements and ingredients as well. Leave me a comment letting me know if this is gonna be your Valentine's Day dinner. It's an absolute winner, and I really do believe that you will get a second date if you make this. Don't hold me to that, but you know, the recipe is good, so give it a go. But for now, my wife needs some pasta, so I'm signing off. Enjoy your Valentine's, and we'll see you soon. Goodbye. But for now, I've got a very angry wife.